And good morning. You are tuned right here to KLYC 1260 AM. I'm Kyle Hunter. That's Ray Van Blaricum. And this is To the Root of It, your weekly gardening show, specifically tailored to the needs of the Yamhill County gardener. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, and yes, it is a great morning on the other side of town.
But it does depend on which side. Driving in from Amity, very, very cloudy, very foggy, low fog.
Low fog,
Very
yeah.
low fog.
And then you get over on the east side of McMinnville, or the west side of McMinnville.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like west of 99. It's a glorious day.
Right.
It's absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, it was an interesting morning. There is far more denser fog predicted also for tomorrow, right?
Oh, out here you can't see across the street for crying out loud. I mean, you
But
barely see.
it's the light fog. It's
Yeah.
not that I couldn't see 20 feet in front of me driving in. It wasn't that bad
No,
this morning.
It's just the annoying fog. It's not freezing fog or any of the other wonderful things that can happen.
And as we do to start off every show, we like to mention the weather because as gardeners, it pretty much determines what we get to do and what's growing and how we behave with the environment. So coming up this week, we were just talking about low temperatures in the evening.
Yeah.
With possible frost on Tuesday.
Yeah, if you got something really sensitive in a pot, you might want to bring it in Tuesday afternoon.
Right, exactly.
Or put it someplace
Or
where
maybe
it's
even
protected.
Monday, because Monday
Yeah.
Monday night lows are supposed to be at 39, which again that depends on which part of the valley you're in and which part of the county. It could drop lower.
Low. If you're in a low pocket,
Mm-hmm.
between two hills or down around a creek area or something like that.
Yeah, and who isn't by a creek?
Yeah, well, yeah, I got the Cozine in my front yard.
That's right.
Yeah, we got serious floodwaters there for a couple of days.
No, it's been raining. Everybody's by a creek.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're in those low areas, then you're
Yeah.
probably going to get a colder a little bit sooner, right?
Yeah, the cold air goes down and it finds a low spot, and that's causes it to condense and causes the temperature to get lower in those spots. That's why we caution about low areas. If you have porch plants and things, and you are in one of these low areas, you probably already know it. Just be advised that Monday and Tuesday could be a bit chilly.
Right, we got a 50-50 chance of rain tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it's going to be, we got a high of 55. Everything's dropping down right now. So 55, anything below
Yeah.
those 60s, low 60s.
Yeah.
Plants aren't doing anything for the most part.
No.
unless
They're done for this year. Even your perennials are, they're. If it warms up for a couple hours, then yeah, they'll do something. They'll
You know what I did?
transpirate or whatever.
I pulled my tomato plants.
Did you?
And
Good boy.
it really clears up this box because
All of
half of
them?
them were dead and rotting, and then there were some of them that they're that bright green shiny emerald that it's
Yeah.
like, please let us live. We could be so good, right? Because they're so shiny, and there's a bunch of them. So I took some and I put them in paper bags. But yeah, just ripped everything out, and it's satisfying because all of a sudden there's a blank spot instead
Yeah.
of dead rotting mass.
Yeah.
I improved the aesthetic appeal of the garden just instantly by doing that. Plus, it's time to just pull that stuff away.
Yeah.
I was doing that with the asters
Tidy up.
too, and tidying up. I got the dahlias and the daisies. Everything's just ready to be pulled out.
Well, that's a good thing to do today because it is later on this afternoon. It's actually going to be pleasant. Let's call
Everything
it that.
comes
We
out.
won't say the warm word,
Right.
but pleasant enough to go out and play in your garden. And
58 degrees. That's
Yeah.
about as cold as warm can get.
yeah, that's still 3 layers for me.
Right. No. You still have the breeze that is robbing you. But 58 degrees, and I will definitely be in there with the hoodie on.
Yeah.
Because I understand that this is really the last chance. Because I am a procrastinator. That's what I do. I
Well, and
procrastinate.
that's okay.
And this is, if I want to have everything go easy for me this winter, it's got to be done this weekend.
Yeah. Actually, I'm done. So
Well, of course you are. You were
yeah.
done 3 weeks ago.
I know. Because I'm one of those. When I was a little kid, if they'd invented all those letters like ADHD,
Right.
whatever, I'd have had all of them.
I'd have
Yeah.
the alphabet.
Yeah, I was one of them difficult children.
Right.
Hyperactive, I guess.
Right, just didn't get enough blood flow to the frontal lobe, so the interests were many.
My
and vast.
kindergarten teacher said I was a busy child.
Well, and you still are.
And yeah, oh bless. In fact, today I'm gonna go with my grandson. We're talking about busy. Yeah, we're gonna celebrate his birthday by going zip lining.
Which it can be done here in
Yeah,
the,
up there by
county.
Gaston.
Yeah.
We're gonna go sail through the trees, and hopefully I won't splat like a bad
So you're
squirrel.
going to enjoy the warm day, the final warm day for a while by breezing through it.
But it's according to Rufus, and bless his heart, Rufus is a weather prognosticator that gets published over at the OVS.com website, and I just love the man because he's so unbelievably, uncannily accurate.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it's specific to what we are.
to where we are, right here.
Right.
Right, right here in Yamhill County, and he's talking about it getting winterish pretty doggone quick.
Yeah, now you were talking about that. Now, what are we looking at? We're looking at before Thanksgiving, expecting a little bit of snow here. Here, possibly.
Well, they don't say the S word because people panic.
Right.
But
unless you're at 4,000 feet, it's cause for extreme panic because nobody has their snow tires on, right?
Well, the prime impact on the Northwest will be dry and chilly.
Oh,
See, that's as rude as they get about this. And the coldest air mass of the season begins in the eastern basins by Tuesday. That's why we're going to be down to 33, because there's going to be a strong east wind down through the gorge and through the Cascade valleys.
And since it's coming from the east, it's pushing the moisture out, so we're going to get dry. So
dry
cold and dry.
Yep.
Ooh.
And we're going to get all this cold air right down here in the valley. And people who have lived in Oregon for a while they know what that means. It means it could get really icky.
As soon as some moisture shows
as
up.
soon as the next rainstorm comes in over the top
All
of it.
right.
So
I'm following.
Yeah. So it's setting up to be interesting, folks.
Right. And so make sure all of the winter gear is out.
Yep.
I did that last week. Also bought the kids all of their gloves that they're going to need because it's going to get cold anyway because it's November.
Yeah, it's done. Summer's over.
But linking it into what we're going to talk about later on the show, winter is here. That doesn't mean that the beauty of summer has to go away. There are flowers and shrubs that do quite well in the winter here in this area, and they can tolerate a little bit of frost.
Well, there's two on our list that I've got a couple of Paris that I'm bored with.
Right.
So I'm going to just pull them up and put them in a pot and stick them out on the deck.
Oh.
Just they're
cold.
They're going to go someplace else.
Yeah.
But that there's one in there, and we'll talk about it later, that is absolutely freaking gorgeous. It blooms all winter long. And it's going back in that spot as soon as I find one.
As soon as you find one.
Yeah.
Why don't we take a break now?
Okay, we'll take a break.
And when we come back, we'll talk about wintering shrubs and flowers because it's really exciting to see some of these colors that surprised me in my garden. So for right now, you're listening to The Root of It right here on KLYC 1260 AM.
days. Models that has the storms will carry quite a bucket full of rain and breezy conditions. It's going to get stormy. Well, I don't know, but it's going to be butt ass nasty. It's going to be a solid fall storm season.
Cents each. That's a great bargain. Elsewhere, you'll find them for $2.99 a pound and up, and we sell them for 89 cents each. So that's a great bargain for our customers. We also have 3-pound bag little cuties. These are the ones that peel real easy at $5.99. We still have assorted winter squash, 2 pounds for $1. So if you haven't gotten any squash yet, come on down for that one. We got fresh green beans at $2.59 a pound, and we have fresh pineapples at 89 cents a pound. Over in the organic section, we have sugar pie pumpkins at $1.29 a pound. We have new crop Pink Lady organic apples at $2.69 a pound. We have fresh organic cranberries at $3.49 a bag. And to top off the organic section this week, we have organic delicata squash at $1.29 a pound. Over in the meat department, we have free-range turkey tenderloins at $6.99 a pound. We have fresh tilapia fillets at $7.99 a pound. And if you haven't gotten your turkey ordered yet, don't forget to get on the phone or come on down and get that fresh Shelton turkey before we run out of them.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
And that's going to do it for this week, Dave.
All righty. Harvest Fresh downtown McMinnville, and I tell you what, the folks down there are awesome. They're very friendly, and that's Harvest Fresh downtown McMinnville on 3rd Street.
Thank you, my car's like new. J&W CarStar will do the same for you.
If you've been involved in an auto accident, where would you take your car to be fixed? I hope you say J&W CarStar. We have been here for decades repairing cars with excellence. Trust us to fix your car right.
J&W CarStar Collision Repair. Come see the people who care.
Listening
and welcome back.
Here
You're
to the root of
right
it
here.
on KLYC 1260 AM. Gardening for Yamhill County. And we were talking about the weather.
It's going to get ugly.
Yeah, it's going to get ugly. But don't let that deter you. Don't let
Nope.
it get gloomy on you, even though towards the end of the week it's going to be really, 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 really pretty.
Yeah.
But there are a couple of flowering shrubs that are out there and available to us here in the Pacific Northwest because of our Mediterranean winters that we do have. More mild than, let's say, Toronto.
Yeah.
So when I gave you this list, what stuck out at you?
Well, there's
Because let me preface this. Sorry, this is a list that was available from the Extension Office, Oregon State. So you go to extension.oregonstate.edu/mg/Yamhill, and in the search field you can type in wintering shrubs, wintering flowers. And there are more than a few articles on the type of things that we can grow here. So this list stuck out at me, and in particular, the plants for you. What?
Well, and don't forget that if you have any question or you miss a point or you miss a name on a plant or something of that nature, you can call us at 503-435-1260, and we can answer you right here on the air, too. Or if you have any questions about any of these, it's 503-435-1260. Theoretically, we have our call-in lines available.
That's right. And if not, if you enjoy the email conversation, you can email Ray.
Yep.
Ray at totherootofit.com or Kyle at totherootofit.com.
And we will answer your emails.
And we will name plants that flower in the winter.
Yeah.
We promise. Right now.
Besides, well, if you like big plants, there's... by big plants, I mean like 6 to 8 footers.
Whoa, that's pretty big.
Yeah,
That's a tree. That's not. Is it still a shrub there?
You got to have a decent sized yard for the first couple of them, like witch hazel.
Oh yes.
That can get to be a very striking plant, but it's such a gorgeous plant and blooms all winter long.
Now, witch hazel is something that I hadn't seen. by memory, it's not something that sticks out, but now it will, because it really looks like a sea anemone on a flower. Those tendricles, whatever.
Yeah, it looks like it has tentacles.
Thank you.
There we go.
But on a flower, you have tendrils. So I was combining two words, of course.
Well, I'm surprised I got that many syllables out without eating the mic.
Right, exactly. So it looks like an octopus on the end.
Yeah,
of
that's the one.
And it could be multiple colors. Have you ever had any witch hazel in your gardens?
I have when I had real big yards, and it does pretty well in part shade too. When I lived over in Oregon City and I had this totally shady backyard, I had witch hazel and forsythia. That's another one that is absolutely gorgeous, bright canary yellow in the middle of January. It gives you hope that spring is like only 2 months away.
Right. And winter isn't as bad as it is if something can flower in it.
Well, what cracks me up is the forsythia that I had would frequently get snowed on over where we were living. So you'd have this white blanket of snow, and then you'd have these leafless stems with all these brilliant yellow flowers sticking up out of the snow.
Right. It's like, no, we've been here before.
Yeah, no biggie.
Right.
So
the witch hazel, one of the things it has fragrant cultivars, but it also has non-fragrant cultivars. So if you're looking for fragrance, you're going to want to check out you have the right cultivar for that.
Sniff it before you buy it, folks.
Right, exactly. But because witch hazel, actually the hairspray I'm wearing right now is witch hazel hairspray. It smells very beautiful.
Really?
Oh yeah. No, you look at my hair like you can smell it from there.
Well,
which you cannot, because that would be an awful lot of hairspray. But yeah, witch hazel.
I promise not to sniff you.
No, you want to. Now. I see your nose puckering from across the room.
Is it,
So yeah, I got witch hazel. It's used in beauty products.
Yeah.
So here's another one, Viburnum Dawn. And these have fragrant white flowers, and they flower from November through March. They kind of remind me of ninebark. They flowers are kind of pink like that, although they're more trumpety than the ninebark is.
Well, if you have, once in a while we have those little Anna's hummingbirds that can winter over in Oregon if they can find some place where they can hide out and stay warm.
Hummingbirds love the trumpet flowers, don't they?
Yeah, and they'll come out on a sunny day once in a while if it's not too cold.
And another thing about these Viburnum dawns is that they're also known for their bronze leaves. It's kind of a green, but then it's got a coppery bronze right over it.
Oh, it's a gorgeous
shining,
plant.
shining.
Even if it wasn't blooming,
right, exactly.
Just the leaf structure's gorgeous, and it doesn't get completely out of control. It stays fairly short, like less than 3 or 4 feet. So if you got a small spot that you need something, the viburnum is an excellent flower. And then there's this winter sweet.
Ah, yes.
Now that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's got a small little. It's also a trumpety flower. Some of these flowers,
it's a honeysuckle family.
Yes, exactly. And and these are really known for having fragrant flowers. But what I've always noticed about the honeysuckle is people say they're very fragrant. Yeah, if you stick your nose like right in them, they're very, very fragrant. And then especially these wintering ones, I had one last year. There's no, it's not like a flowering current where it's just wafting through the air. You gotta get in there.
Yeah. I'll sniff it later too.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm hooked on the sniffing thing.
Right, exactly. But I really some of these names are fun. Winter Sweet is a fun name. Sweet Box is a fun name because it's also called the Christmas box. A lot of these things also have a pseudonym of Christmas something or other, probably because it's around winter time. But the Sweet Box, it's a small evergreen shrub, and it is good in shady areas, which stands to reason why it's
I love
successful.
this honeysuckle.
Yeah.
Lonicera fragrantissima.
Right.
Yeah, remember that one.
That means a little fragrant, right?
Yeah.
Pianissimo is
Fragrant.
No, I'm gonna stop talking different languages. But yeah, the honeysuckle is beautiful. Now the thing about this sweet box is you do get berries off of it, and
It's kind of an all-purpose shrub.
Right.
It's got gorgeous foliage. It's got gorgeous flowers that are really
they're kind of spidery. They're like a spidery trumpet blooming thing. I'm thinking of one of these puffball flowers, if a puffball flower and maybe even a chrysanthemum and a honeysuckle had a child that would look like this kind of flower.
well. If you had like a walkway or a semi-enclosed portico, or your front sidewalk, was in between the garage and the house, let's say. So you had this kind of alleyway where it would get a little bit of sunlight, but it'll scent that whole area.
Because it's kind
So-
of enclosed. Yes, I
Because
see
it's
what
kind
you're
of
saying.
enclosed and the wind doesn't blow it away. But when people walk up to your front door, they're going to go, "Oh, wow, what's that?" Because it's like walking past the Nordstrom's counter.
Yeah.
You just go, "Oh man, it smells good." Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Hellebores. These are. I'm looking at the sheet that I gave you, the script for
Yeah.
the show, and I print on laser printer. And sometimes we talk about this on the show. What a detriment to us sometimes to be able to describe these in black and white. So the hellebores are a perfect example because there are so many hybrids of these things, and they have such soft looking petals.
I have 6 heliobores.
Do you?
And they're remember all that mulch I threw down?
Right.
Them suckers, they didn't even slow down. They come whipping right up out of that. So I've got gray leaves, grayish white leaves, dark, almost black green leaves, light green leaves on a couple of them. Some that got round leaves, some that have like oak leaf shapes. And then they're all different color flowers, too. I've got purple and white. I've got straight purple. I've got one that's just dang near green as grass.
Well,
the
that's
flower.
they're crazy looking, so many different kinds of colors that you can have
Yeah.
with these things. Because they're, like you were saying, white, blue, violet, deep purple. And the green, it's like a dogwood, it's a green.
It's just plain green.
Right. It's a
it's-
light, muted avocado kind of. But it is gorgeous, and if it snows, it's a great contrast.
Yeah, my sister gave me one of those as a housewarming present like 2 houses ago. And the sucker's moved just fine. This is its 3rd garden, and it transplants just fine, and the next year it does exactly what it's supposed to do every time. I mean, talk about hardy. This guy's been abused with a shovel.
So when we talk about the hellebores, you've got the single ones,
Yeah.
and then you've got the double. So it's almost as though they've taken the face of the flower and then they've glued another one on the back of it.
Yeah.
And it's they're the same color, but it's an incredible looking, especially some of these hybrids that I saw on the internet. They're just crazy looking flowers.
It's also known as Lenten roses.
Oh.
Because it blooms before Lent,
Yes.
or Christmas roses. It kind of looks rose-like, a 5-petal flower, but
Well, maybe you're in the middle of Christmas and you're in Scandinavia and you see this bright thing. It's like, wow, yes, Christmas rose. That's what a rose looks like, right? It's been so long since I've eaten.
yeah, but it's the tricky part about heliobores. Did you know it has a kind of a nasty history?
No, I don't even know the history of the hellebores.
Oh, well, it is believed to be used in witchcraft to summon demons.
Oh. So it's
But
not,
good
not,
demons, happy demons. not bad demons.
No, demons like Puck. Just
Yeah,
little
yeah, yeah.
mischievous.
Yeah.
Just fun to hang out with.
Not like a Zool out of Ghostbusters, something that's going to attack your refrigerator. Nah, not that kind of deal.
Great Ghostbusters reference there.
Yeah.
So we've also got the Kaffir lily, and I skipped over the irises. We'll get back to those.
Yeah,
but the lily, and the reason I want to mention this is because I had the funniest thing happen to me yesterday. In my garden, I go out there, and I've got this this plant that I had thought throughout the summer, and I didn't know exactly what it was, but so throughout the summer, no flowers come from it, and it looks like it's spreading and getting greener. And I thought it was a tulip or something like that. That's what it looked like, and no flowers this year. Fine, we'll get some next year. And yesterday I go out to the garden, and bam, there are a few of these bright orange lily-looking things that I don't remember having necessarily planted them until I saw them. I'm like, oh yeah, maybe last year that's what I put there. So anyway, as I'm doing research for this, bam, what's the last thing on the list here is the Kaffir lily. I'm like, that's there. I see a picture of it. That's exactly what I have in my garden. And yeah, it provides a splash of pink and bright red, but it is beautiful. It's fluorescent almost.
It's and it's very durable. It'll bloom. That's another one that'll bloom right through snow. Isn't bothered by. It's got good strong stems on it. So if it gets really nasty, windy, rainy, icky, like it's going to happen in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and the thing is, as I'm not a very good waterer, as I've admitted many times here, so it was pretty drought tolerant from my own experience. I wasn't watering it daily, but yeah, this thing is one of those beautiful things that I wish I had more of these other flowers that are on the list, like the iris that we skipped over. Those are popping up, aren't they?
I've got them coming up. I'd forgotten that I took some bulbs last spring, and because I hate to throw anything out,
right?
And so I stuck them in this pot, and then the pot was behind the air conditioning unit. So it was in a kind of a protected warm spot. I'll be dadgum if that sucker ain't got 4-inch leaves sticking up out of it.
They're just all of a sudden.
I have no idea what they're going to be.
Are we in February already? And there are other things that come out of the ground that look like that earlier.
I'm really curious to see what they are.
Yeah,
because it's obviously. I mean, it's not grass. It's obviously some kind of iris or some kind of bulb plant.
An onion. A wild onion?
No. I don't think it's one of those. There were some other bulbs that I threw in there just for the heck of it, and we'll see what they turn out. But I went ahead and drug it back out in the sunlight and gave it a little dash of water, and we'll see what grows.
Yeah, and so we've been talking about flowering, winter flowering shrubs.
Yeah.
And hardy plants that can make it through the snowstorm. So on the list we've had witch hazel, the viburnum dawn, and then the lilies.
Yep.
And winter sweet. Name of the day goes to sweet box because it's sweet.
Yeah, and very, very fragrant.
We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we've got some more shrubs and some more winter trees. But for right now, you're listening to The Root of It, right here on KLYC 1260 AM.
What's the blinky thing? Oh. Deaf people. Okay.
Your yard in a garden. Recology's compost, which is certified for organic growing, can enhance overall soil quality, provide plants with nutrients they need to grow larger and healthier, minimize the need for chemical fertilizers and pesticides, increase your soil's ability to hold moisture and retain nutrients, feed helpful earthworms, create a buffer for your plants against common toxins in the soil, and control pH levels and support essential bacterial growth. It's more than just compost. It's food for your soil. Northwest Greenlands, a Recology company. In McMinnville at 2200 Northeast Orchard Avenue. Call Recology Northwest Greenlands at 503-434-1671. 503-434-1671. Recology Northwest Greenlands, a proud sponsor of To the Root of It on KLYC.
Homeward Bound Pets, cut 1, 3, 2, 1. Since 1975, Homeward Bound Pets has provided a loving, temporary home for dogs and cats looking for that forever home. Homeward Bound Pets is a no-kill, no-cage, non-profit adoption shelter. If you're looking for that special pet for your home, we invite you to come and see us. If you want to make sure that we continue to provide loving care for animals, we ask for your continued support. Homeward Bound Pets is open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 4. You'll find us on Loop Road, just east of the Air Museum off Highway 18. You can visit our website at hbpets.org. Homeward Bound Pets, 503-472-0341.
Now, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, there is a new place to eat in McMinnville. Great food, great prices, and a passion to please. Banner's Restaurant, and now also open for dinner. Maybe you want pasta and your dinner partner wants something else. Looking for slight substitutions on the menu? No problem. They aim to please. Enjoy your meals. All new furnishings and an all-glass restaurant entryway provides a sunny, friendly, family-inviting atmosphere. Banner's Restaurant. They aim to please. Located near the Dollar Tree and Rent-A-Center in McMinnville. Open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. serving breakfast and lunch, and now dinner from 5 to 10 p.m. Banner's Restaurant, McMinnville.
And welcome
Hey,
back.
yeah.
You
Okay.
are tuned right here to 1260 AM KLYC. You're listening to The Root of It, the weekly gardening show. We've been talking about wintering shrubs and things that blossom in
And
the
bulbs.
winter. And bulbs. And so you were looking at something about bulbs, right?
Well, it's kind of a catchy little gift, and you see it advertised in magazines, Sunset Magazine, any kind of, even in the Oregonian, about starting bulbs indoors and then giving away blooming plants for Christmas presents. And
Now, the bulbs have to get cold at some point, though, right? In between, don't they? No, you don't have to make them cold. Because that's what I was wondering, because I thought that we had once discussed that some of these bulbs have to go through kind of a cold, something to then activate them, which would make sense if you've picked them and pulled them and put them in the garage, then maybe they've gotten a little cold.
I didn't see anything about that in this article, but
Anyway,
you're right. Tulip bulbs, daffodil bulbs, all of those kind of guys. That's why they like to winter over. You put them in the ground in October, November. It's not too late to go out and plant tulip pots or whatever. And then there's ones like paper whites are a real favorite to grow because you can grow them indoors really easy. You can just put them in any kind of a little glass goblet with some little round pea gravel in the bottom and set the bulbs on them and just keep the roots wet.
Like the terrariums that we were
like the
discussing.
things that Celeste was doing.
Right, exactly.
You can do those with bulbs. And then you have beautiful flowering plants for your Christmas table. And they're very, very fragrant.
The picture that's in the Oregonian that is with a pot in there, you can actually see the bulb sticking about an inch out of the soil or substrate, whatever it is. And but they've got, about 5 different kinds of bulb flowers.
There's hyacinths, there's crocus, there's paper whites, various colors of hyacinths, and they all stink wonderful.
And the way that they have these positioned in what looks like about a 12-inch pot is they're separated enough, and then since they're all sticking out high enough, there's enough separation down at, let's say, ground level that you get the distinct look of each one. But it also looks like almost like they're sticking on a carrot, like the carrot is sticking out of the ground. So very unique looking. So if you could put that on a Thanksgiving table, no, a Christmas dinner
Christmas,
table.
yeah. Now you need to give them like 8 to 10 weeks to actually get activated. So you're right at the minimum time this weekend while they're on sale at your local whatever. And we've got a pot that
A pot designate.
and we have a pot that's designated for an indoor bulb farm.
All right.
Yep, it's going to happen. The old ficus that's
And
in
when,
it is.
and when you say indoor, you're not talking about
I'm
garage indoors.
No,
You're
I'm talking
about
living room.
front and center.
Yeah, right underneath the skylight. Yeah, the ficus is it's given its last.
No.
Yeah, it's been it gets up and it gets like 2 or 3 feet tall and then it drops all its leaves and it
Yeah.
looks.
Their ficus are stubborn, but that's there was the first one to be brought indoors to say, hey, you can put a tree indoors, kind of.
Yeah, ours is kind of going to go back outside into the mulch pile.
Oh, it's that
Yeah,
bad.
I'm
huh?
done with
Not
it.
even just outside.
No,
to see
no,
what
no.
a ficus does outside.
It's ticked me off for the last time. I've vacuumed up the leaves one last time, and that's it. I'm done. So we're gonna change that whole pot to a bulb farm,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna put all the really sweet, smelly ones in there, and then hopefully by Christmas dinner when we have all the
maybe
have all
New
the
Year's.
kids over.
Maybe New
Maybe
Year's.
New Year's.
Yeah.
By New Year's it should be blooming.
Yeah.
And I got a spot for it. It's underneath the skylight. It'll be fine.
Right.
It'll get nice reflected sunlight
Sure.
all day long. We'll try it and see what happens.
So we're talking about bulbs coming out of a pot in the middle of winter, kind of
Indoors,
playing Mr. Gardener, Mr. I can change the seasons.
yeah,
I can.
I can bring my spring flowering bulbs inside. I'm going to put them in my living room.
Right.
See what happens.
So we were talking about shrubs
But, yeah,
earlier.
back to
and,
shrubs.
and we've
Big
got
shrubs.
shrubs and trees this time. Dogwood shrubs really popular in the area, and there's reason because they do really well in the climate that we have here. I remember you had some dogwoods at your old place.
Oh yeah, I had great pink dogwoods, white ones. I had a native dogwood right by the corner of my porch. That's the one thing I miss about that house because this native dogwood tree would bloom every spring, and it was like 50 feet tall. But my back deck was about halfway on the tree, so it was blooming below the deck and above the deck. It was
Well, you don't want it blooming through the deck.
no. No, I whacked off them limbs.
Right.
Poke yourself in the eye one time with a dogwood limb, and then a sucker goes.
Yeah, and there are 30 to 60 species, and the stems are also of the color that's the interest in these. It's
Oh yeah, they have red stems and yellow stems and shiny, kind of purplish stems. So even after the leaves fall off, you still have this beautiful accent plant. It looks like it's not doing anything, but just sitting there being pretty, which is not bad for a plant. Gives you some interesting form and color contrast to whatever icky stuff is on the ground.
right. Well, the midwinter fire is a specific dogwood cultivar. So this will flower in the summer, and then the yellow stems tipped with red twigs. Those are what really come to color in the winter.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Right.
And very durable here. It's good to like 20 below zero. They're very hardy. You don't have to do anything really special except make sure that you have the root crown mulched and protected, so you don't. Even if the ground freezes, they're kind of surface rooters. So you gotta protect.
That's the sensitive part. Is the crown and the surface roots right
Yeah,
there.
the stem can take it.
Right.
It's not gonna do anything evil.
Right. That's why we have rings around the trees, because they can take it. We don't have rings around the roots because they can't.
And then there's other really, really cool shrubs like the Mahonia shrubs. Or we call it the Oregon grape. It's a state flower.
Yeah, it's a popular thing around here. And because we were talking about durable, that thing is durable. It takes my treatment, which is means it's drought tolerant. We went to you and I went to a plant sale last year, and I picked up a
Oh.
few of them. And out of the 4, 3 of them survived. 2 of them are currently surviving, and but one of them got stepped on, whacked, started growing from the bottom, and it's a really good shrub.
Oh, it'll still come back.
Right.
If you don't mow it.
Right, and that was the thing is on one of them, half of this, and we're talking about the Oregon grape, and half of it was dead, and I mean, they're pointy leaves, and so it was brown and spiky, but the other half was completely green. So I let it go, and we grew from the green side, and then the brown side, it's still there, and it's been probably about 9 months, and it hasn't lost these leaves. They're gripping onto it. So I'm just curious to see how long something like that lasts too.
Well, remember last winter in December, it wasn't even winter yet. Winter comes on December the 21st. It was the end of fall when we had that super duper freeze between I think it was like the first or second week of December last year.
Right.
And that froze and killed stuff that took all year to die.
Mm-hmm.
And did weird things to plants, like one half a plant would die.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly, because I've got poplar trees in the same boat. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a bizarre situation because it got so cold so quick that you really didn't the plants didn't have a chance to dormatize or go dormant
Right.
enough to protect themselves.
Right.
Because it just went from like 40 to 20.
Right. Yeah.
And that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
But
So it is the state flower. It gets yellow flower clusters, and then those are followed by the blackberries. And what's really great is, as being the state flower, you find it in a lot of landscapes, public landscapes. And longest time I thought, why would they put poisonous flowers right there? I mean, poisonous berries where kids are going to be walking and picking and eating.
well,
Apparently, you can eat them.
it's
They're not poisonous.
Well, it's good bird food.
Right.
Birds will eat them all winter
little
long.
little bitter for us.
Yeah.
Little yucca.
Yeah, I'm not going to make jam out of it.
Right. No, well, it depends on how much sugar you add to it.
Yeah,
I'd assume.
Yeah.
But yeah, berries are not poisonous, and I had to dispel that myth to my family. My wife has a problem that if she doesn't recognize the berry, it's poisonous.
Which is, overall not a bad
Sure.
plan.
Yeah, but it leaves that just assumes that if you don't know something, then that it's bad.
Yeah.
Instead of going and finding out, is that berry poisonous? It's no, berry poisonous. Did you find out? No.
Like my heliobore summoning demons to my front porch. That's not going to happen.
No, only if you mix up the heliobores. That's
Oh.
why. As long as you just leave them, then they're fine. Just don't put them in any potions.
Yeah, right. Don't. Yeah, we won't.
So then we've also got the camellia.
Yep, camellias are fabulous, and there's a whole camellia festival in Newburgh in the summertime, and there's like close to 250 different species of camellias, and very hardy.
And what's really great about them is being the shrub. They're an evergreen and they're flowering, but it's the leaves again, because of the broad leaves. They add a lot of volume to the garden in the winter, so they're still there. So that space isn't void.
Well, you look at older homes, and camellia was a very favorite flower, even in the 30s and 40s, and very hardy. And then you start seeing like trees, because they're slow growing.
Right.
I mean, it's not gonna cover your house in a year
They get
and a half.
about 8 to 10 feet.
Yeah, they get some size to them. So you want to be sure you don't plant it too close to the house and things like that.
And you can also use a trellis to
Yeah, you
to
can
use
train 'em.
Right, exactly. And you want to make sure you prune it after it flowers too.
That's the easiest way to keep it under control. Is when it gets done flowering, you can butcher it pretty good and keep it under control, and it'll still bloom next year. So you can keep the size down.
And one of the favorite cultivars is Yuletide because it's a size, and it's not known to get big and out of hand, so it's really good for small yards.
Yeah. Had a camellia over on Galloway.
Oh, you got a camellia story.
Yeah, yeah. It was one of those that before I became a master gardener, I did shorten its blooming period by about 2 years.
Did you cut it shorter?
Oh, I whacked that puppy off to paint the house.
I see.
I thought, well, it'll come back, you know. Yeah, it took a while,
Right.
but it did come back. But yeah, that was when I treated rudely.
Well, you did what you thought was right at the time.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
No, I did
didn't.
what
I
was
just
convenient for
joking.
me.
There you go. That's
Not with no respect for the poor plant.
right.
You know.
So then we've also got talking about flowering and wintering shrubs and trees. The Himalayan honeysuckle
Yep.
or Himalayan pheasant berry.
Now this is one that I wasn't really familiar with and have never grown. But in a large open area in a backyard, if you wanted to fill up something around a fence area or wanted to contribute to a hedge area where birds would overwinter and you know,
Yes,
create
because
a little.
it grows to 8 feet tall. It's an East
Yeah.
Asian plant, and the striking flower structure, that's what stands out against the light foliage, and the black-purple seeds, they ripen from October to November, and that's what the birds are attracted to,
Right.
are to these berries.
Yeah, birds that are late leavers. They're late to leave the area, or they just plain are wintering over in the valley. A lot of our native birds will come down out of like the Coast Range and come into the valley to winter over, and those guys love them.
Right.
They eat them just, you know.
Yeah, and
As a
again,
main-
golden lantern is a popular variety of that. It's considered to be a must-have because if you have the space for it, because this is one of those that spreads out.
Well, the foliage is so striking too. It's bright lime green. It so if you need contrast and color in your greenery, and you appreciate the various shades of green, it's one that can really perk up a corner.
Perk it right up.
Yeah.
And last on this list is the ginkgo bilboa. These are wonderful.
Biloba.
Bilboa.
Balboa.
Biloba.
Ginkgo biloba.
Biloba.
Yeah.
And it's known. Everybody knows. I don't know if everybody's seen it, but it does look like a very unique tree. And the reason is it might be the oldest living flowering plant still in
Been around
existence.
for thousands and thousands of
Millions.
years.
And the reason, and that's
Yeah.
what they're actually finding, is that there is no close relative to this ginkgo biloba. I said it right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was right.
yeah.
All right. So there's no close relative to it. It like if you do the the kingdom phylum class
Yeah.
tree,
There's nothing.
there's a missing link between this and the next
Anything.
closest relative. So it's so far down the evolutionary cycle. It's incredible, and it looks gorgeous.
It's one where the leaves in the fall get just canary yellow. The only thing you got to watch out about ginkgo biloba is if you go buy one, you got to kind of make sure you get the right gender.
Oh.
Yeah, because if you get the females that drop the seed pods, they can get stinky.
Are you kidding me? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you don't want the flowering seed pods.
No. You want the boy tree. It's one time when we come in handy.
What do? You look under the pot? How do you? What are we looking at a juvenile ginkgo tree? But no, that's good advice because maybe you don't want it to be like that. For me, I like it the ancient looking structure of this tree. It really, it looks like it just came out of the pool of mass or something.
Yeah,
like that.
the leaf structure itself is completely different than any other tree. You can have maples and oaks and things like that you kind of look at them and wonder, which species it is. Ginkgo biloba has that fan-shaped leaf that is completely different than just anybody else.
Yeah.
It's and the thing Now that's one I did grow.
Oh yeah.
I had that over at the Galloway house, and it was like my favorite tree when it came time, because after it did all its things, flowered, and then the leaves turned all the beautiful colors and stuff. First frost, they just like all fell off, and they'd fall off all in one night. Just splat. They're done. And it spits its leaves off. I'd still be raking the red maples for 3 more weeks.
Yeah.
But the ginkgo tree, just when it's done, it's done. It goes dormant, and that's it. Lights out.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
No, it's and it's expected to do that too. So, being almost tropical, subtropical, mountain tropical China.
Yeah.
So let's take a quick break.
Yep.
And then we'll come in. We've been talking about winter flowering vegetation and trees. So come on back. You're listening to The Root of It right here.
We got one more good idea.
Right here on KLYC 1260 AM.
A bird, music, a soft voice.
Hi guys, welcome back.
What if you can't hear them like you used to? Well, you're not alone. The good news is that help is available at your locally owned McMinnville Hearing Center. Greg Arnone is celebrating his 20th year providing dependable hearing solutions to Yamhill County residents. He and his dedicated staff will listen to your needs, answer your questions with plain talk, realistic expectations, and a personalized approach to your long-term hearing needs, and learn about the body's connection with your hearing, such as diabetes, memory loss, falling, and more. McMinnville Hearing Center, 472-5554, just off Highway 99 at 325 Northeast Baker Creek Road. McMinnville Hearing Center, providing better hearing with a caring touch. Since their doors first opened in 1983, D&D Electrical strives to be a different kind of a company. From industrial, electrical, security to communications, their answer is usually, yes, we do that. D&D Electrical is your full-service electrical contractor. They can handle the entire job, everything from a new outlet to a manufacturing plant. No job too big, no job too small. 24-hour service with 20 full-size response vehicles and the best equipment in the industry. Big company support, small-town service, 24 hours a day. 503-472-4003. Ready to go to work for you right now. D&D Electrical, McMinnville.
The tax filing deadline is passed, but successful businesses don't wait till the last minute to get ready for next tax season. Contact Patricia Hofer of Out West Tax Service to get ready for next year. Patricia has more than 20 years of experience to ensure that you get the best advice. Stop by for a good old-fashioned sit-down conversation with Patricia about your tax needs and concerns. Conveniently located in Yamhill at 150 North Maple Street, that's at the intersection of Highway 47 and Highway 240. Call 503-662-4010. Targeted tax savings for you at Out West Tax Service, Patricia Hofer, LTC, number 28438 in Yamhill.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Root of It right here. With the few minutes that we have left, Ray.
Okay, let's get into some bulb things. If you haven't gotten your spring bulbs in yet, or you really want to rearrange them, or if you want to dig them up or whatever, today would be a good day to do that.
Spring bulbs being tulips, daffodils, iris.
Hyacinths, anything like that, crocuses, anything that you want to create that spot of color.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do it with a pot.
Okay. You're bringing it into the garage?
I'm going to do it out in the garage.
All right.
Because every time I do something like that in the living room, I get yelled at.
It doesn't all get picked up.
No. Then she's right there with the vacuum.
Right.
You know?
It does get it picked up, but it's not by me.
Yeah. Oh, it will be picked up by me if I want to make peace in the family. That's for damn sure. Darn sure.
So you've got everything in the garage, and we're talking about bulbs. And
Yeah,
which bulbs have you got?
Well, I'm going to go with hyacinths.
Hyacinths.
And a variety of colors because they really, really smell good. And so I'm going to try to make that color spot in the corner of the living room underneath the skylight and fill it with paper whites, hyacinths, and a variety of colors if I can. So and this is a good sized pot. I mean, it's, well, it used to hold
the listeners can't see hand
No,
motions, but
no.
we're looking at about 12 by 12.
Yeah, minimum.
Right.
It's actually, I think, probably bigger than that. I think it's a 16.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it held a tree.
That's right.
Or what we hoped was going to be a tree.
It is currently holding. It
is currently holding a stump.
It will have held.
There's enough stump left to pull this sucker out, so it's going away.
So you're on bulb duty.
I'm on bulb duty.
That sounds great.
Let's see, what else we got? Oh, but today is the Master Gardener yearly planning session. We want to say hi to anybody over there.
That's right. You're heading right on over there straight away.
Where we plan our entire activities for all next year.
Yeah, I might even have to drop by in that.
Just say hi.
An activity.
Yeah. Well, and we have to speak for our fun hobby.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So that being what it is, it sounds like a busy day out there.
Yep, and zip lining.
Oh, gosh. Okay, Ray. Let's let the listeners talk about their day real quick. No, they don't call. Okay, so the phone number is 503-435-1260. Write it down. Next week we will be right back here. And if you have a question in the meantime, Ray at totherootofit.com or Kyle at totherootofit.com. For right now, we'll be signing off. You've been listening to The Root of It right here on KOYC 1260 AM.
Keep your tools sharp.